What's up guys, Woody here, back with another deck video. This time for Gwent, back on some Gwent, and I've not been playing as much as I want to recently, just because I'm so busy, but I have been playing around with a Nilfgaard mill deck. Now, I played around a mill a couple of months back, way before Crimson Curse dropped. Nilfgaard aren't in the best place as it is, and hopefully you guys understand now that this channel, or my channel, I don't necessarily look to just make meta decks. I don't want to do that. I like playing around and make stuff that's fun to play. Yes, you have to play competitive decks if you want to climb rank, but I also like making something that's fun to play, but can kind of be competitive at the same time. And that's exactly where I think Nilfgaard are in general at the moment. Nilfgaards are not in the best place, as I said. They are getting a rework soon. I honestly think the next expansion goes around Nilfgaard. And a lot more of their mechanics get explored, but we're not here about that. I'm going to do a whole other video on that. We're here to look at a Nilfgaard mill deck. One quick side note, sorry guys, it's so hot in the UK at the moment. Surprisingly, I've had to have my window open to record this video, otherwise I'm going to literally just drip with sweat. So if you hear any funny noises in the background, it's just neighbours doing some work on the house. So yeah, I'm not making weird noises. Enough of that said. A mere mill, or well, Nilfgaard mill, because you could potentially swap out leader. By swapping out leader, I mean you've got potential of getting an extra 3p by playing Voice, or you could be going across to Carvate and playing and getting 1 extra p, or even add a 1 extra p. The reason I've gone with Emir is purely because the mill mechanic, that there are several cards in the deck that obviously require or make the opponent mill cards, and having a Emir means that you can basically play that card twice. That's going to be very dependent on your matchup, but we'll get to that in a minute. So quickly run through the deck, and then I'll go through basic combos you're looking for. Because, like I said, this isn't the strongest deck you're ever going to play. But there is a finishing combo. If it comes off, it can be pretty big. So, Villaforts, I always pronounce this one wrong. Iqualox, Tibor, Lefo, Leo, Seret, Stregobor, Isabel, Vidfir, Albrich, 2 Viper Witches, Doppler, I'll get to why they're in there in a minute, Nilfgaard, sorry my door's like moving randomly because the wind, Nilfgaard's Knight, Alba, Spores, Sergeants, 2 Sergeants, 2 Magnet Division, 2 Slave Drivers, and you could stick this whatever you wanted in here. I just find I'm getting pretty good value off the Knight Errant. So, as you notice, lots of these card mill, okay? So the top one, Villafort Mills. Mills. The reason Lefo's in there is Lefo has certain targets that we want to be going for. Those targets those targets normally Isabel. I say now the targets are Isabel, pretty much 99% of the time, or Stregobor. It does go off with Stregobor, although it's not an order card because it has 1 turn to count down. He will go off. So they're your main Lefo targets. Lefo could potentially be swapped out because he doesn't get tons of value. There isn't a lot of other mill cards available, so he's just in there as a potential additional Isabel or Stregobor for him. Or obviously you could go Magna Division, you could go Norska Sergeant if you wanted. Now the big combo that I've been trying to finish with is using Albrich in round 3 to move Tibor to the top of my deck, putting him on 15 points, to then play either Equinox or Villafort, depending on the situation, depending on what I have in hand. But ideally Villafort to destroy one of their enemies and then summon the top unit from both decks, meaning that because it's summoned, it means that Tibor comes out for 15 and his ability doesn't go off, so he doesn't pull out another card, and then they pull out their top unit. If you're playing this round 3 with the mill mechanics that have been going on already, the chances are you're only pulling out a maximum 4 cost. So Villafort is basically destroyed an enemy for free. He did get 0 value on the board, but you get 15 value on the board with Tibor, which is pretty big. Also against stuff like monsters, I've had this go off huge. I've had this as last play when it's set up. So I've basically cleared their Osril off for 13. He's come out for 0. They've pulled out, I don't know, say 4 cost Necker. So he's come out at, or Drowner, sorry, he's come out at 0 value, but with the swing with Tibor at 15, it's come out for a 28 point swing, which last play is huge. So that's when this deck kind of works. Leo's in there purely because Leo has a bit more versatility than, say, Geralt, just because he allows you to destroy a Witcher. If if you need to do that. Leo's good in Nilfgaard matchups because chances are they're running Seret, they're running Orcs and Seret. So you normally, even if they're not ramping value, you normally get value off Leo anyway. Seret and Orcs, they kind of have to be in there. These are your, so in terms of Emir targets, obviously if you can play Villaforts, so I had a game against Skellige. This map deck goes very well against some Skellige decks, mostly Bran. I had a game against Skellige. Going into round 3, Bran only drew 2 cards because I basically milled so many of his cards, using his ability as well. Meaning that I could play Villaforts round 3 to destroy a card, and then replay him with Emir to basically bring 2 cards out of my deck, but they didn't bring any cards out. So Villaforts basically cleared like 9-10 from their side, and pulled out a total of like 6. So he actually went off for pretty much like 16 points, 20 points if you add Villaforts' value onto it. So it was against Skellige, this card can be awesome because it just clears cards and there's nothing there. Same as Equinox, okay, brings out your highest P card. You have to be careful with this card in the deck because obviously Villaforts is your highest P card. So if you play this and these are both in your deck, this will come out. If T-Ball's in your hand, obviously Lefo or Leo will come out. You don't really want those coming out because you don't get the ability. It's not the most consistent combo at all, but it's the only way I've found of getting high tempo. I've used it in round 1 a couple of times because it does mill a card. If I have the cards in hand to get it off, I'll normally get it off, especially with Albrecht, just because I get value of it while I can. So yeah, the rest of the cards, I mean, Spores is in here. You could put another Spores in it. Spores is in here in case you get unlucky with Stregobor. Stregobor, if you don't know, after 2 allied turns, each player draws a unit and sets its power to 1. Let's say you get really unlucky and you bring up T-Ball and he gets set to a 1. You can play T-Ball. Hope he stays on the board at 1. He might not do, but if he does stay on the board, when you have the ability to play Spores on him to get some pretty big value, okay? Also, if they start damaging T-Ball, you can play Spores on him to bring him back up. Or vice versa, if they're ramping up, Spores is a great card to have in there. The only reason I'm running Spores over something like Peter is purely value. I couldn't fit Peter in the deck at 6, but I could fit Spores in at 4. That's pretty much the deck, guys. In terms of how you play it, round 1, depending on your matchup, round 1, you want to be playing a lot of your mill cards. Especially you want to be getting Viper Witches in hand because it banishes cards. Doppler, sorry, I had not explained. Doppler is only in here for humans. There's quite a few humans in the deck. If you get Doppler round 1, he's your first play, probably over Magni Division and Norska Sergeant, just because he gets value on the board. This deck can struggle with a bit of tempo. Doppler's purely in there. You play him round 1. You get the right hand in round 1. He comes out for a 7, 6 or a 7. So he can be pretty good. But you want to be playing Viper Witches early. You want to be playing Valfir early. Isabel's not bad playing her round 1. If you get card advantage, obviously you want to play round 3 when they can't draw into a card. Strigabor's fine round 1. You have to use Leo. Don't be worried if you're playing monsters and they play a big unit round 1. There's nothing wrong with playing Leo. Use Emirs, put him back in hand, and then play another card off that. Just Mill is very much experimental. Play around with it and see what works for you. But yeah, you want to be getting as many Mill cards you can on the board round 1 without losing all your tempo to kind of just get cards out, and that's the idea. Especially against Skellige, because they will run out of cards. They'll have cards in their hand like Hamey. I can't remember Hamey, the guy that discards 1 and draws 1. They can't play him because they've got no cards in their deck. So they'll play him. They have to discard a card. They just lose a card. So yeah, definitely get Skellige. You want to be playing round 1. But that's it really. Jump into a couple of games. We'll see how we get on. Hopefully we can get 2 destroyed. We're currently set around rank 6. So it's relatively competitive rank. Obviously we're not next to Pro Ladder, but you get the idea. Let's see how it gets on. Okay. Let's see who we've got, what we've got, what's going on here. Who are we going to be up against? Calve!
I shall not repeat.
Okay, it's been an interesting matchup. We keep Tibor in hand until we actually get other cards to use him, because he's good round 1 for Mill. Then maybe running Leo, it does bait him out. Yep. Isabel, Seret. Because we have Orcs in hand, I'm going to... I'd rather get... Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What are our thoughts on the spears, guys? What do we think of the spears now? I think they balanced them about right because the setups you can get with them is kind of banana, but I also don't think they're that powerful. This is one of those ultra degenerate kind of I'm not going to play a unit deck. I think so. I feel like that may be exactly what it is. It's fine. We see what the options are here. Let's play you. Ideally, what we need to be finding here are units because they're not going to have many units in hand. So we need last say in this game. Simple as that. Banish it. I don't care about that. Epidemic. They can set up epidemic with this. So. That's why T-Ball is going to be great round one because he's going to pull them out. They're going to play the card that gets rid of the highest unit on the board, but what can we do?
We follow Letho's lead.
There we go. Play T-Ball now. Bring a unit out. It's going to really feck them up because that's something they're probably banking on. They go reveal a random unit from your deck. They've probably got 1 or 2 really high-powered units in there to get the value off that. There's our next value because we bring another unit out. So we can play this now because it's going to pull another unit out and they're not going to be running many units in their deck. Again, they don't get much value off that. We're going to put T-Ball back in hand so it goes back up to 13. And we're going to play Isabel on the back row and see if she stays.
Anger and suffering. For what?
We've saved so much value with these guys here. There you go. I didn't expect Isabel to stay for 1 minute. I feel like we play T-Ball again, you know.
Long live the Emperor!
T-Ball, even value. Yeah, we have to win round 1. It's as simple as that. We don't win round 1, we lose this game because they're gonna. The issue now is, what do we play? I'm going to play this while I know we get the value.
Let's dance.
We win this one even as well, then that's pretty tasty delicious. It's going to be reset. Alright, okay.
Difference to me.
What's the last card? Because we don't get any value on orcs, but like I said, I can't imagine this deck now having a ton of units in it. There you go. We got him. I can't imagine having a ton of units. We get last say. And we get... There we go. Is this any good now? I have to wait and see because our bridge is not great now. We keep it for now because we get value with them over time. Both use leader beers, that's fine. So, yeah.
Order will triumph. It must triumph.
It'll be interesting to see how many units they actually have left because we play second blast, we get to draw an extra card basically. And we want to draw in some of this where we get the 1 damage doesn't set it to 1 value, isn't it? Okay, we get 2 extra cards. Does it go off? It doesn't go off, does it? So you're actually pretty useless now.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Okay. We can steal that, I reckon.
Let the evildoers quake.
So this gets down to a 4, doesn't it?
Obedience or the lash.
Okay, what card do we want in our deck, basically? Because... highest provision cost will be left, though, so he comes out of 5. Is that going to be any good value, though? Because what they're going to bring out of this deck, I have no idea. Unless they don't have a unit left in the deck. Which might be a chance, actually. So I think... we actually put this to the top. I'm actually going to play ranged here.
Powers are yours to command.
And I'm going to make it so these guys come out. Because I think that's what we get the most value on. We bring Lefo out with that. Oh my god. So we play them on the range because then they don't lock. Easy, too easy. And the mill actually worked really well for us then because we basically forced them to. We thought that because they were playing such a degenerate pony deck, we forced the units out, and what they would normally use for round 3 tempo, they just didn't have any. They had to use in round 1. They lost on even. So the mill actually worked really well then. Let's see if we can get another win. Let's see if we can get 2 in the bounce with a mill deck. That doesn't work often. I don't know what people think of those degenerate artifacty special card decks, but they're just too linear. They do one thing and one thing only, and it's just like, well, I know how to play against you now. I'm just going to throw out my little ones and I win round 1. You have to win round 1 against those decks. Otherwise they'll play a big unit round like last play and they'll win it. They'll just clear all your units off the board and play something. Like Golem, Imperial Golem, that will come out and reveal a card, and by round 3, it's revealing a 4-cost card, so it's still coming out at 7. It's pretty big. Let's go on, see what we can do here. This match is going to be super hard. This stat match is going to be seriously challenging. The only way we're going to win this game is if we get lucky on our mills. That is the only way we can win this game. Okay. You don't get value, I don't think. That's pretty nice. Thank you very much. And we're not going first, are we? No. So Lefo hasn't got a target here. No. So we just don't play him. We didn't get any of our ramp cards. We didn't get Nautical Sergeant or Magni Division, which is bizarre, but hey, it happens. First play is going to be here. So we didn't get. No, it's not. First play is going to be our lock. We got Leo. I think we take the value on Leo while we can. So we lock this now. The fact they've done this, they've thrown it straight on Trident Ball, gives me the impression that they're actually going to look to pass out when they're on 6 cards. Yeah. They're going to give us the round, I honestly think, when they get to 7 cards, sorry. I don't really see why else they'd throw this onto that. I mean, you could run Van Helmer in this deck, so it destroys, that's fine. We just let it keep going. I say it's fine. We don't have Serret in hand, which is rather annoying. Oh, we'll tell you what we do. We can play this, because it does 3 damage.
Fight the Emperor and you might be free.
Yep, it's easy enough. I don't think we get any other value with Leo, so I think we clear it pretty soon. Force them out of the round. The issue is we're not milling much. We play this next if we have to, and we can. We want to be getting rid of some of these decks. Run Skegs. If they run Skegs, you want to be getting rid of Skegs, or you want to be getting rid of the one that brings the 2 Harmony cards out. That's
Sisters,
always nice to
follow
do that.
me.
Okay, I feel like they might push us a little bit, which is fine.
Bow, barbarian.
Milva. Thank you. We are losing value on Doppler at the moment. There we go. Can we catch it any other way? We could use T-Ball and pull something out, but we kind of lose our big combo then. I don't think we get any other chance to get value on Leo, so we just play Leo now and.
For free.
And I kind of expected them to make us do that. So, I mean, we could potentially bleed a little bit now. 2 of you would be amazing. I don't think this gets. Well, Doppler's losing value. The more we go on. Okay, we got Orcs and Sarah, which is always nice. I'm actually playing Magni Division. And then we're going to play Dark Witcher. Just to try and bait some kind of removal up their hand. And obviously this ticks each turn, so it gets value every time. There we go. It's fine. Come on, get us something good.
Get our hands dirty.
It's not great. That's not great. Tempting thing now is to play T-Ball and just get out the round. Play no, because the issue is we could play T-Ball now. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we draw into this, we need to draw into 2 cards though. It's risky. I feel T-Ball's not a bad shout, you know. If we get something good pulled out with it. Let's go T-Ball.
Give no quarter!
That's good. They've not bumped Skegs in hand once at the moment. Okay, so they've just put a card to the top of their deck, which is making me want to. So we're going to play you here. We're actually going to put you back in hand. Or could play you and banish it. Couldn't we? Rather than play it. Yeah, let's do that.
Here's our chance.
Why did they put that to the top of their deck? Oh, I read the wrong card. I read the wrong card. I thought that was the one that moves it to the top of the deck. It's not whenever an enemy unit moves.
I think you'll really like this one.
Very, very poor from me. Yeah, I messed that up big time. Messed that up big time. They have played some big cards. What do we want to the top now? Probably Isabel. We don't have much really that's beneficial here. I thought it was slightly going too far into the round, but this isn't. Yeah. The fact they can destroy any card is pretty big. What's this at? This is 4, so that's 5. Spores are worth 5 on that, so that's not the end of the world. That's fine because we can get out of the round now, and they've played some big cards. Yeah, we can get out of the round now. Okay. I know they still have leader ability, but leader ability isn't huge right now because Milva's gone and they just played the nature card deck. Nature card thing. What is our highest provisions card? Isabel, but she's got to be on the ranged. And it summons it to the melee, doesn't it? Melee, right. Yeah, I don't think this gets value now. Spores. No, we get rid of spores as well. Okay, this is going to be a challenging one. This is actually fine because we can throw it on a card and then destroy it later with Villafort, so it's fine. It gets a 6 value on it. I say that. Oh no, we just lock it. We just lock this. Is that crushing trap, do you reckon? See if we're now. Poisoned. Poisoned! It's a good card. The Treated Mantis. It's yeah, I quite like it. I don't really know what value we want with this. We've not done this that well.
So keep a vigil, so that others may see.
Alright. Okay, that's fine. We kind of get them down to 0. I have to play this quite late though because the one cost on it is.
White frost and white light.
Say it again, please!
Scoia'tael! Attack!
If we play this basically, he comes out for free, so he just destroys any enemy we want. Which is always handy. I still don't think we'll win this game. If I'm being brutally honest.
Notice! All roads lead to Nilfgaard.
I mean, he comes out in the moment for 14, which is pretty big. It does put us in the lead by 1.
It's not too late to walk away.
We haven't won a game. Playing Dana is always going to be really hard, but hopefully if she stays, we see how the mill works, because we basically got through their deck. And I feel like Mill's missing 1 or 2 cards, if I'm being honest. It's she did. She did. But that is going to be game, because yeah, we're miles behind in the end. We really struggled with. So maybe we don't use T-ball round 1. There's lots of ifs and buts and that we could go around. The yeah, I mean, God, we won 1, lost 1, guys. Please don't think that like the you watch this video expecting the next meta deck. I mean, every now and then I come up with a stonker that does alright. But if I'm being honest, Mill is... I just play around with Mill as an idea. We didn't even get the big combo off once, or we use Albert to put the T-board to the top and boost him by 2 and then pull him out. But you can see the idea of Mill. We didn't play against Skellige, but I've played this deck a few times against Skellige. And it's solid against Skellige because they do the milling for you as well as you. And I've had it where I've won against Skellige, not because the deck's really powerful, because they draw hardly any cards round 3, and it's been like, thank you very much, I'll take that. And then when you start clearing cards off the board, they don't pull cards out because, hey, fair enough, it doesn't work like that. They haven't got any cards to pull out. So yeah, Mill is still 1 or 2 cards away from being a competitive deck. Maybe 3 cards away from being a competitive deck. Yeah. So it's the issue they've got to be careful with Mill is a lot of people hate playing against decks that Mill because there's not many mechanics against them. They make more Mill decks, more Mill cards. They need to make them order based because if they're deployed, there's nothing you can do against it really, unless you're playing something like Pitfall Trap, which is extremely situational. So yeah, I like Mill as an idea. People who watch know I like Nilfgaard as an idea. So yeah, hopefully you're not annoyed that like, oh, you won one, lost one. But you saw the idea of how Mill can work. Darn, like, this is not a strong... This is probably not even a tier 3 deck. It's just something fun. If you're playing around... I reckon in the lower ranks, if you're sat around 15 to 20, I reckon you could get away with playing some of these cards and pulling cards out. It's very RNG based. If you get lucky and you pull some of the big combo cards out and get that in the drop area. I've had people who forfeited round 1 because I've played 2 Viper Witches and then another card that's milled, and I've pulled out their 3 main cards and they're like, well, that's it, my deck's gone. Forfeit. So yeah, you can get very lucky with it. And yeah, if you give the deck a go, guys, and let us know in the comments below if you think it's good or not good, because it's not that great. But let me know in the comments below if you had fun with it. That's the most important thing. This deck, it could be very interesting on the seasonal ladder because you potentially, with the double playing, I know they get double cards, you could mill a lot more. That'd be interesting to see. Because obviously they play cards with the same provision cost if you're milling those cards. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent now. Yeah, give it a go, guys. See what you think to it. And yeah, for more Gwent deck videos, and I'm also playing a game called Cards at the moment, which I'm going to share my more in-depth impressions on in probably just under a week's time. But yeah, for more Gwent videos, guys, make sure you subscribe. Like I said, this isn't a meta tier 1. This is going to get you to pro ladder deck. This is do you know what? I'm bored of playing these really powerful competitive decks. I want to play something fun for a little bit. And I've played around with it. There's been a few iterations of the mill deck. This is the best I've got so far. This is the most competitive I've had it so far. We won one, we lost one. Yeah, it's okay. But anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And until next time, goodbye. Have a good one. Bye.